top more than 5 cards to pick up for this. I believe we have 6 or 7 for this list of actual penny stonks and things that are worth picking up for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! So you guys have always asking, hey Robbie, what do we got? What do we got? Hey, Robbie, we need the penny stonks. I talked about one of these on stream Monday night, so if you guys were there, you got the chance to get that exclusive sneak peek. So show some love, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you're subbed for more, and let's dig on into this, shall we? Welcome to buyout time. Nah, just kidding. This is the penny stonks video. So I have 6 things I wanted to talk about today. And I think that, honestly, when we talked about this on stream, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh. So, a Morph Factor, Pain, the Imagination, Dracova Lord. Now you're like, really? Why would we go for this? So, Drytrons were playing this in the OCG, and we saw this card initially spike in the OCG. Now, I came over here and I looked at this. I looked at the initial buyout in the OCG. I was like, well, is it really going to be worth it? Then I came over here and looked at our market. This card only has 1 printing from Shining Victories, of all places. Now, for those of you that are like, well, like, yeah, tell me where they're going to reprint Shining Victory cards at this stage in time. Nowhere. Alright, so initially it's like, so what makes this card good? So you can ritual summon this card with a Morpheus Persona. Drytrons bypass that. Okay, so if this card is ritual summon, your opponent skips their next main phase 1. Alright, well that's really good. Negate the effects of face-up fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters while they are on the field. Oh, okay, so if this card is sent from the field to giving that a Dracova Lord monster from your deck to your hand, we don't care about that. We care that you get a main phase skip 1 on your opponent, and you get to negate fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters continuously on a 2950 body. Alright, now, what's the market going for here? Alright, like, these are currently dollars, if that. I mean, you have the cheesy 5-cent copies, 26-cent copies with shipping available. But I'm not saying that this is something that you go crazy over and go, oh my god, like, we need to buy. This is something that Drytrons are around the corner. I don't think that they're going to be insanely crazy metagame oriented, but this is something that the OCG was playing with their Drytron Drex. We saw the card spike on their side of the market. The card has 1 printing available here, and from what I've seen, evidently they're already worth more on eBay than they are on TCG Player. So just kind of get ahead of the ball game here with these, and we'll see if the Drytron impact really, I guess, brings it home for this card. Now, this is one that I actually just personally got bought out of. I had 200 copies of these on TCG Player, and one person came through and was like, yoink, these are mine now. I didn't actually realize that this thing has 2 printings right now. Now, this is more or less one of those, oh, well, it's the collector's market. I understand. There's a lot of Winged Dragon of Raw cards in general that we're going to talk about here that you're probably like, well, $1, $2 cards. Could these potentially lead the way? I hate to say it, but I could see it. You're currently sitting at $1.90 plus 40 cents here. It puts us at what, like $2 per copy if you were to buy them all out generally. But this is more or less just one of those giant cards that you go, oh, well, in terms of collector's value, like, is it worth it? Well, on a card that's got what? 2 printings available to you on your front door, you're like, well, maybe it is. I mean, the only other copy available is the Millennium Pack one, and these are available at $4 shipped to your front door at this point in time. So if you're a Winged Dragon or Raw fanboy, I don't foresee this card, or the next one, I don't foresee this card getting reprinted unless it goes into Gold Series. Now, this is one of those, maybe we should have it cards. No, this really isn't a penny stonk, but I'm at this point in time that every copy of Raw, okay, so the Sphere Mode, you have 21 listings, you have 18 listings, and you have 15 listings down here on the Dual Powers. Your minimum $8 per copy no matter how you look at this right now. All right, whether or not this be Wing Dragon Raw support, or your opponent put 3 monsters on the field and you're just going to normal summon this, hand it to them. The card has both applications in normal and casual Yu-Gi-Oh! For the player base. So at this point in time, this is something that you need to be aware of. All right, Raws are not going to get any cheaper unless they do drop this in Gold Series. But this has become one of those cards that when we start to see a toxic metagame develop, just hand them the giant testicle. Like, what are they going to do? All right, nothing. They can't say no. All right, like, you legally attributed those 3 monsters. This is theirs now. This is their problem. All right, so unless they counterpick Drew-sided in the Wing Dragon Raw for when you give them the big giant chicken ball, I don't know what they expect. But at this point in time, if you have not picked up your Wing Dragon Raw sphere modes and you're planning on having these for a metagame pick to beat the game, your time is running out at this point. All right, so yes, the little chicken ball is not getting any cheaper. Now, I know John talked about this, but this was something that I personally wanted to talk about as well, because I went through the whole Rager Raw set. This set, I don't know what's going on here. All right, like, the entire Rager Raw set has good cards that can be picked up. All right, like, this is one of those cards that I'd be like, yeah, for collector's purposes, I'd pick them up. If this card hit $10, I'd be like, yeah, pick it up. But when you look at Rager Raw as a whole, you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, are Jinzo cards worth it? We had really bad Jinzo cards 2 to 3 years ago, or, yeah, that had never been reprinted in their life, that were worth a lot of money. And then all of a sudden, new Jinzo support. Now, the problem with investing in the Legendary Duelist Raw set is we have the Legendary Duelist reprint sets. All right, Konami already has said, hey, we're going to reprint these. So when I would approach this, I'd be like, well, is it really worth it? And my answer is, to a degree, yes. I think that for the casual player that wants to pick up some stuff, be like, potential $2 to $3 stonks, yeah. This is a card I could see being $4 4 years down the line from now. All right. True Name was one of those cards that held out for so long, and I picked up so many copies at $2, and they hit the $6 mark. I was like, cha-ching, sell. So this is one of those cards that I'm like, this card has $4 potential. This card will probably have $2 in its life. It doesn't really surprise me. Then you look at some of these littler cards. I mean, these are super rares. All right, stupid things like this, especially the Millennium Revelation. I could see this card being $3 to $4. I mean, you already have True Names here. We don't talk about this card. This card, they reprinted this. This card hurt, but this is one of those cards. Like, this card literally summons an Egyptian god card to the casual player base. This is a card that they're like, we want. All right. Some of this Mech Lord stuff, a lot of players are like, it's trash, but like, what's stopping this from being a $2 card later on in its life? All right. Things like Sun God Unification. I really do think this is another one of those cards that could creep up, be a $2 to $3 card. Some of this Mech Lord stuff, I also look at this, I'm like, yeah, it's not really good, but you have this. Right? Like, this card looks fantastic. 23 cents. If you could get just a chunk of these available and buying in bulk at like 20, 30 cents, it's kind of worth it at the end of the day. Down here in the rares, I wouldn't go too crazy. I mean, like, this set doesn't have Rare Gamma, all right? Like, Rare Gamma was the king of penny stonks. You guys look at some of Toon Chaos's original cards. Oh, yeah, it was clear as day that some of those things were going to go up. But when you look at this set, there's no crazy $2 rares you can buy for 10 cents that will potentially be worth it years down the line. Maybe this one. Actually, I could see this one being worth $1 later on in its life. Mount of the Bound Creator and the Ra's Disciple always tend to do weird things in their life, but do not underestimate the little things in this set, like these. Alright, you already got 7 to 8 listings of them. Then the last one I want to talk about, this one just kind of tickled me a little bit. I was like, what? When an opponent's monster activates its effect, send a face-up Blackwing monster you control the graveyard. Negate the activation if you destroy it. You can special summon a Blackwing monster from your, or Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck. If you control a Blackwing Synchro monster or Blackwing Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand. My first problem I initially had with this card was it's not searchable, but fun fact, Blackwings have a counter trap card. I don't know how many people kind of caught on to this. This is kind of one of the cards that scraped out underneath the radar that you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's an inherited -1. Yeah, it's not searchable, but it replaces itself with a Blackwing Dragon. So, I mean, take it with what it's worth, but I was like, huh, 20 cents. Maybe this is worth penny stonking on later on in the card's life. So, this kind of caught me in. I was like, all right. So, what do you guys think about these penny stonks? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and we'll guys, I'm out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.